The face of an alleged killer, a 28-year-old man arrested today in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, for the brutal murder of those 4 college students in Idaho, apprehended after 47 days of a community on edge. A SWAT team closing in some 2,500 miles from the crime scene and taking the suspect into custody and charging him with murder. Authorities tracking down the PhD student suspected in the Idaho stabbings to his parents' home in Pennsylvania. With the unsolved case gripping the nation for more than 6 weeks, how the community and the victims' families are responding tonight. After years of legal battles, a House committee has publicly released 6 years of former President Trump's tax returns, revealing surprising information about his business losses in recent years and just how little he paid in taxes while in office. We'll have the latest, including how the former president is responding. After more than a week of travel chaos, Southwest Airlines says it has resumed normal service tonight. With nearly 16,000 cancellations since the meltdown began last week, Southwest Airlines CEO exclusively telling ABC News the company promises to make good on passenger reimbursements for certain expenses. Alex Perez reports in tonight from Chicago. Police shortages are hitting departments large and small across the country. As communities grapple with rising crime, officers are walking away from the job, leaving departments scrambling to recruit and retain its ranks. What's behind the shortage, and can the new generation of officers be convinced to wear the badge?
Yes, it's a good job, it's an honorable job, but it's almost not worth it.
And as final preparations for the New Year's Eve ball drop are underway tonight, we take a look back at the stories that define 2022 here on ABC News Live. Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff in for Lindsay Davis tonight. Thanks so much for streaming with us. As 2022 comes to a close, we may be closing in on answers to that unsolved murder of 4 college students in Idaho, a brutal crime that left a small community, a college community, and the victims' families reeling. Today, authorities in Pennsylvania arresting a 28-year-old man in connection with the killings, Brian Kohberger, who you see there taken into custody early Friday morning. He is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. The Washington State University graduate student was at his parents' home in this apartment complex in Chestnut Hill Township in the Poconos. Police telling ABC News they tracked him down in part through DNA technology. The violent deaths of the 4 victims shocked the small college community of Moscow, Idaho, as police combed their home for evidence and took in thousands of tips from around the nation. We have team coverage tonight. Kana Whitworth in Idaho and Matt Rivers in the Poconos neighborhood where the suspect was captured. We begin tonight with Kana from Moscow, Idaho.
Nearly 7 weeks after the stabbing deaths of 4 college students in Idaho, a break in the case that has gripped this nation. Police arresting a suspect, PhD student Brian Kohberger.
In conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, on a warrant for murders of Ethan, Zana, Madison, and Kaylee.
In a chilling twist, police say the alleged killer studies criminology at Washington State University. In Pullman, his apartment just over the state border, 15 minutes away from the crime scene. Investigators tracking Kohberger 2,500 miles away to the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. Our Matt Rivers is there.
So it's in this gated community just behind me that a SWAT team, including the FBI and Pennsylvania State Police, swooped into the suspect's parents' home around 2 a.m., taking him into custody.
Sources telling ABC News the home was under surveillance for days. Our Philadelphia station, WPVI, talking to a neighbor who saw the arrest but didn't want to be identified.
They had it in handcuffs, and we did so when the team took him out and put him in the car. That was very scary.
Sources say police linked Kohberger to the crime in part through DNA technology and tracked through his car.
I will say that we have found an Elantra.
Investigators have been searching for a white Elantra that was spotted near the crime scene that night. Kohberger graduated with a master's in criminal justice from DeSales University in Pennsylvania. Back in May, someone using the same name posted on Reddit looking to recruit volunteers for a research project aimed at understanding how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. Tonight, the father of Kaylee Gonzalez telling us when this suspect gets to Idaho, he will be waiting.
This guy's going to have to look me in my eyes multiple times, and I'm going to be looking for the truth.
Welcome back.
Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan last seen at that food truck shortly before the murders. The two, who were lifelong best friends, were stabbed to death in the same bed. Their roommate, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, stabbed in another bedroom. Two other roommates on the first floor surviving the carnage. Tonight, Ethan Chapin's family saying they were confident police would solve the crime. They say we're relieved this chapter is over because it provides a form of closure. However, it doesn't alter the outcome or alleviate the pain. We miss Ethan, and our family is forever changed.
Did anybody do their chores today?
Just weeks before the murder, this close group of friends were seen joking around in this TikTok video. The crime sending a jolt of fear through this town. Many students fled campus as police patrolled around the clock, and investigators faced intense pressure to solve the case. Kaylee's anguished parents have been pleading for the community to turn over any surveillance video.
We just want this person found so bad.
Since the beginning, police calling this a targeted attack without explaining why. And tonight, the motive remains a mystery.
What I can tell you is we have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I do believe our community is safe.
Kana joins us now from Moscow. And Kana, you've been talking with the families of the victims. Do they have any idea if their children had a connection to this suspect?
Right, the first question that people want an answer to, right, because police long said this was a targeted attack. And when I spoke with Kaylee Gonzalez's father earlier, he initially said, no, they don't know who he is, but they're digging into it. They are going to try to find out if there was a connection between him and their daughter or any of those people that lived in this house. What he told to me later in the day is that now that they have a name, they're searching differently. And he feels like he's coming up with some things that he's just not ready to share just yet, Phil.
That's understandable. Police say, Kana, that many of the details in this case won't be released until that affidavit they were talking about is unsealed. First, tell us why that is, right. And then when do you think it is we will learn more about this?
So we heard from the county prosecutor, and what he explained to us is that this affidavit, this arrest affidavit, will not be unsealed until Kohberger appears in court in Idaho. So first he has to be extradited from Pennsylvania, and if he doesn't do that on his own accord, the governor here in Idaho will have to get involved, and that could be a very lengthy process. But again, once he is here, he is charged, and he appears in court, they will unseal that affidavit, and we will learn a lot more details.
Yeah, and that could be a little bit, I guess, because they were pretty tight-lipped at the news conference that happened behind you. This case obviously has gripped the Moscow community, fearing a killer on the loose, as so many did there. Did police say local residents now are safe tonight?
You know, they talked about how this is a safe community. Yes, you should feel safe. But they added that you should also be on alert and that you should be vigilant. And we've sort of heard that along this investigation, Phil, that they're saying, you know what, maybe we should have been more vigilant all along. And that should sort of just be the new standard for people here in Moscow.
All right, Kana Whitworth in Moscow, Idaho tonight. Thanks so much. ABC's Matt Rivers is in the Poconos where the suspect was arrested overnight. Matt, what are you hearing from members of the community there?
Well, this was a shocking turn of events, if not only because we are really far away from Idaho where these murders took place, but also because this is a pretty quiet part of northeastern Pennsylvania. This is a rural part of northeastern Pennsylvania in the Poconos. This is a place where many people actually come to vacation for this long weekend. There's some cars behind me, people actually waiting to check into Airbnbs that are inside that gated community there behind me. We can't actually go into the community because it is gated, the property management company not allowing anyone without a reservation to go in. But it was behind those gates right there overnight, Thursday into Friday morning, that it was a SWAT team making up members from the FBI, state police of Idaho and Pennsylvania, as well as local police officers from Moscow, Idaho, where those murders took place. They all executed that search warrant for the 28-year-old suspect who was at his parents' house, we're told, inside that gated community. They executed that search warrant around 2 a.m. this morning, really in the overnight hours. shocked this community. And now the suspect being held not too far from here where we are right now at the Monroe County Correctional Facility. That is where he will remain as these extradition proceedings move forward.
Yeah, and Matt, a little bit more on that. Talk to me about the extradition process. We know that there's another hearing in Pennsylvania, on Tuesday? But when it comes to the extradition process, he could choose not to waive his right, or what happens? He could lengthen this process out.
Absolutely. He could, if he waives extradition, then it would go a lot faster. He would make his next appearance in front of the judge on Tuesday because this is a holiday weekend, so the next time he's going to be able to appear in front of a judge here in Pennsylvania would be on Tuesday. If the suspect chooses to waive extradition, he would be sent back to Idaho relatively quickly. However, if he wants to fight extradition, then the authorities in Idaho would have to put forward an extradition request through the governor's office in Idaho, and then that would come here to Pennsylvania, and there would be a lot more hearings if the suspect wants to fight extradition. So how this is going to play out over the next couple of days or even weeks or even months here in terms of how fast he will be sent back to Idaho to face criminal charges, that's an open question at this point.
Right. Eventually, that is most likely where he will land to face the charges. Matt Rivers, thanks so much. Now to former President Trump's tax returns. A House committee today released 6 years of federal taxes, which show that Trump paid relatively little in the years before and during his presidency. So what's the former president saying about this tonight? Here's ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
After years of legal battles and questions about former President Trump's personal finances, tonight, House Democrats finally making public 6 years of his tax returns from 2015 to 2020, shedding new light on Trump's huge fluctuations in income, often reporting financial losses in the tens of millions. In 2016 and 2017, he paid just $750 in taxes, far below what an average teacher would pay. In his final year in office, Trump paid no income tax at all. Trump, unlike every other president since Nixon, refusing to voluntarily make his returns public, claiming he was under audit.
Well, I'm not releasing the tax returns because, as you know, they're under audit.
But the committee found that not to be true. And the IRS, despite a mandatory rule that a president's taxes be reviewed, failing to audit Trump during his first 2 years in office.
Any faith we might yet have that Trump was audited fully and fairly, let alone expeditiously, as the IRS manual requires, that's out the window.
The committee also identifying a number of red flags they think warrant examination. Trump had multiple foreign bank accounts, including in China. He also paid foreign taxes while in office and claimed foreign tax credits. And he made several loans to his children. Trump responding today saying the documents show, quote, how proudly successful I have been and how I have been able to use depreciation and various other tax deductions.
Mary Alice Parks joins me now. Mary Alice, there is another headline I'd like to talk to you a little bit about coming from Washington tonight. The January 6th committee has released new transcripts. What more are we learning about the interviews with some key witnesses there?
Yeah, one was from their interview with Ginny Thomas, the wife of Justice Clarence Thomas from the Supreme Court. She said that she regretted texting with people in Trump's White House after the election. She claimed that her husband did not know that she was communicating with them. But she did say that she hoped Trump would challenge the election. And she talked about being there on the Mall for that rally on January 6th. Now, of course, many critics have said that given her communications with people in Trump's White House, Justice Clarence Thomas should have recused himself from Trump-related cases. Phil.
Mary Alice Parks, thank you. For more on this, I'm joined now by ABC News contributor Khan Nawadeh, a former federal prosecutor, Southern District of New York. Khan, thanks for joining us. We have talked about this particular issue several times. We're getting a closer look at the details now that the committee has released the full tax returns. Anything that you've seen so far that could open the president up to a future prosecution?
Absolutely nothing I've seen so far leads me to think that there's going to be any criminal exposure for criminal tax violations from what's been reported. A lot of the things that have been reported maybe expose the former president to an audit or a civil proceeding, but nothing criminal. We should note that the House committee releasing these returns publicly, but others have had portions
of the former president's tax returns for other investigations, right?
And then that's absolutely right. And that's another reason why I don't think there will be any criminal prosecution, at least for tax violations. You're absolutely right, Phil. The New York Attorney General's office, as well as the Manhattan DA's office, they fought long and hard, went to the Supreme Court to get these tax returns. They've had them, and they've never brought any charges against the former president for any criminal tax violations.
And this is an issue. A lot of people in this country felt if you're going to run for president, we should be able to see your tax returns, especially if you're a businessman like the former president who had business all over the world. He chose not to do that. Now these tax returns are out there. I think in a couple of years, 16, 17, he paid something like $750 a year. In 2020, it looks like he paid nothing. Is this more of a political issue for him than a legal issue?
I think that's absolutely right. And the reason it's not a legal issue is that there are a myriad of tax avoidance methods that people can use that are perfectly legal to avoid tax.
And again, his core supporters will think this is nothing, and some of the people in this country will say, see, and none of it will really matter legally, as you're saying, but politically, I mean, he is a candidate for president, so we'll see what happens next.
That's right.
Khan Nowadays, thanks so much. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Some relief today after that disastrous holiday travel meltdown. Southwest Airlines appears to be back on track. ABC's Alex Perez with more.
Tonight, Southwest Airlines' operational reset appears to be working. All but a few dozen flights taking off today. The airline canceling nearly 16,000 flights in recent days. CEO Bob Jordan telling WIT on GMA.
There's just no way almost to apologize enough because we love our customers, we love our people, and we really impacted their plans.
Amy Sethman and her family plan to visit relatives for Christmas. Their flight from Denver to Seattle canceled after they boarded. Their rebooked flight canceled too.
We're not going to get those memories back. We're not going to get that time spent with family back.
Those cancellations, she says, cost her family about $2,500 in out-of-pocket expenses. Sethman submitting her reimbursement claim today. This as Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his department has received thousands of complaints.
We will penalize Southwest as we would any airline if they fail to meet what is required of them to take care of passengers.
Jordan pledging Southwest will make good on this issue and adding,
there'll be a lot of lessons learned in terms of what we can do to make sure that this never happens again, because this needs to never happen again.
All right, Alex joins me now from Chicago. And Alex, did Southwest indicate what it plans to do to prevent this kind of disaster coming up in the future? I mean, we heard the CEO there at the end of your story say they plan to do that, but do they have any plans in place?
Yeah, Phil, one of the main things they say they plan to do is speed up their efforts, double down on their efforts to modernize their IT and other systems in hopes of preventing something like this in the future. Phil?
All right, Alex Perez, thank you. We've been tracking a storm system moving across the country all week long, but as we head into the new year, this system will bring some nice warmth along with it as well. Our Danielle Breezy has the forecast for us in Times Square tonight. Danielle, good to see you. What can we expect?
Good to see you, Phil. Yes, we are tracking two systems that could bring rain just in time for New Year's Eve. Let's take you to that first system here, and you're going to see that that rain is going to spread to the east. It is going to bring a lot of rain to the north and east. And of course, in Buffalo, where they saw all that snow, it could lead to flooding and also ice jams. Now, I will tell you, it will be pretty wet during New Year's Eve day and into the night around New York City, but we're hoping that that rain will clear just in time for midnight as the ball drops. Of course, then we're watching a secondary system. This one has 13 states under storm alerts as an atmospheric river is going to slam the west coast. Now, the timing on this one looks to bring heavy rain tonight into New Year's Eve morning for the Bay Area. 2 to 3 to 4 inches of rain, not out of the question. Then that's going to shift farther to the south for New Year's Eve night, bringing a lot of rain to L.A. You could see rain there for your New Year's Eve plans, not to mention 2 to 5 feet of snow, not out of the question in the mountains. Now, that same storm system is going to be pushing across the country, bringing the threat for severe weather to the south early this week, and we're going to be watching it very closely. Phil?
I know you will. Danielle Breezy, always a pleasure to see you. Have a great new year.
Good to see you.
New revelations today about Representative-elect George Santos' lies and fabrications. Now questions about how he spent campaign funds.
He's been caught in a string of falsehoods about his education, his family, and his work history. Tonight, new questions about how Congressman-elect George Santos spent his campaign's money. Between June and September, filings show the Santos campaign spent $10,000 in rent for a home on Long Island. The expenditure report said it was for apartment rental for staff, but a neighbor told the New York Times Santos had been living there for months, despite registering to vote at an address in Queens. The campaign spent more than $43,000 on air travel, $30,000 on hotels. Those amounts raising eyebrows for someone running to represent a small district on Long Island. His lawyer defended the expenditures as proper, but 4 different law enforcement agencies are now taking a look. Santos is telling local leaders he will serve out his term and will not run for re-election. The GOP chairman in his district said he wouldn't support Santos anyway, but he expressed no objection to Santos taking office next week.
And Aaron joins me now. Aaron, while most Republicans may be staying quiet on this matter so far, yet another Democrat lawmaker spoke out today. Who was it, and what did he say?
This is Congressman Richie Torres, a soon-to-be colleague of George Santos here in New York, and he said he wants to introduce a bill in the new Congress to make it illegal for candidates to lie on their biographies, make them disclose their military history, their educational history, their work history, and do so truthfully. Phil, he said he'd call it the Santos Act.
Makes you wonder if it would pass, too. All right, Aaron Katersky, thank you. When we come back, an NFL quarterback jumping into action when he spots a helicopter crash in the water. And tributes from millions around the world continue to pour in for soccer king Pelé. But first, the bidding wars in cities across the country for police officers. As violent crime rises in some parts of the nation, they're struggling to keep law enforcement jobs filled. We're going to take a look at why so many officers are leaving the badge behind.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
on the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
Here at the White House.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes.
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the right now. With a nationwide teacher shortage.
The right now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
Welcome back, and take a look at this water rescue, thanks in part to Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert is being hailed a hero for helping rescue 4 people after their helicopter tour crashed near Davis Islands. Officers reported that nobody was hurt, and all passengers made it safely to shore. During a press conference, Gabbert said he was just trying to do the right thing. From big cities to small towns, law enforcement agencies all across the country are in a bidding war for new officers, offering bonuses and perks, just trying to recruit the next generation, as many lifelong first responders are leaving the profession. It's leading to significant shortages impacting cities already dealing with increases in violent crime. ABC's Jay O'Brien looks into why so many cops are walking away from the job.
All Anthony Carapucci ever wanted to be was a cop.
An Afghanistan war veteran, the son of 2 police officers, public service felt like his calling.
Policing is essentially really all I know. You know, I love the job.
But in September, after almost a decade with the Philadelphia Police Department, he quit.
Thank you for doing this.
And called us after turning in his gun and badge, feeling burnt out.
It was kind of heartbreaking in a sense. I'm not going to lie, you know, because it's really everything that I knew, everything that I loved. Yes, it's a good job. It's an honorable job, but it's almost not worth it.
Philadelphia, like other major American cities, is seeing an exodus of police officers. Los Angeles is down at least 500 cops. New Orleans, more than 300 officers short from a few years ago. And in Wisconsin this year, the entire state reached a record low for police officers. But in the city of brotherly love, Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw is facing a shortage of 600 officers, roughly 10% of the force's full strength, nearly the same number of cops out on disability.
How long until your staffing levels are critical?
It's critical now. It's already critical. It was critical a year ago.
Bracing for a crushing wave of upcoming officer retirements, a city report also found Outlaw's team needs to triple its recruitment over the next 3 years to avoid even worse shortages.
You can only eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? We're going to be realistic about that. And in order, look at those numbers. That took time to get here.
It sounds like you're saying that your numbers of officers, the shortages you face, are going to get worse before they get better.
I think so.
You've had homicides right in this neighborhood
right
4
times. Right in the corner, yeah.
Jamal Johnson, an anti-violence activist, told us he went from protesting police brutality a few years ago to pleading for more cops on the streets to stop the current surge of violence. Philadelphia saw a record-breaking 562 homicides last year. Upwards of 460 people murdered so far this year. At this intersection Johnson walked us to, one man was shot 16 times in October.
We've been out here for half hour, haven't seen a single police officer.
Right. It's not unusual.
That's common.
It's not unusual.
There used to be a police car, locals told us, frequently parked right out front of Nuvo's hair salon, but it hasn't been there for months.
What was the last time you saw a police officer out here?
Last year.
And inside, Kenitra Scott and Taylin Botino
All right, your time ready?
say that's when this intersection turned its most dangerous.
When the police were removed from parking out front here, is that when the killing started to pick up on that corner?
Yes, because since last year, all the killings started through the summer till now.
Outlaw says her department is still responding quickly to priority calls like murders and shootings. But patrolling and proactive policing, stopping crimes before they occur, are often some of the first tasks put on pause when a department's ranks dip.
It seems like you're leading a department that's just getting burned out.
I think many of us are. Many of us are.
Across the country.
Across the country. This is not unique to Philadelphia.
A recent survey of law enforcement leaders found over half of agencies in the U.S. have fewer officers than they did 4 or 5 years ago. And nearly 3 out of every 4 departments warned their number of new applicants dropped off significantly over that same period. In Virginia,
Batman, come out now, you're gonna get bit!
At the Fairfax County Criminal Justice Academy,
Boy, buddy!
Their numbers have been in steady decline for years.
In 2018, our average class size was in the 50s. Now our average class size starts in the 30s.
This police department's been around since 1940, and it's never had the vacancy rate that we have now, in spite of us doing more on the recruiting and retention end than we've ever done before.
Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says exit interviews show officers are leaving because they're not feeling valued and think they can find better opportunities elsewhere.
They're going into IT, they're going into sales, they're teaching. We've even had a person leave to go be a farmer.
Many cops across the country now forced to work punishing mandatory overtime to make up for big shortages, and some discouraged by how they're treated, including hearing phrases like defund the police.
I know that the sentiment behind defund the police is police better, and police better particularly in black and brown communities. A 24-year-old cop who hasn't lived very long sees that phrase as a anti-police rhetoric. And it makes them feel a certain way, and it doesn't make them feel very good.
There are those that would say law enforcement's undermined its own credibility. What's your response to that?
But those are the same people that will call 911 and will file a complaint if we don't get there quickly enough.
But in this great resignation, where millions, including cops, are leaving lifelong jobs, the clock is ticking.
Does he pose a threat?
To convince millennials and even Gen Z that police work is worth it.
Examine your heart. Do you want to serve? Do you want to make your community better and your family safer and your neighbors safer and your friends safer?
In Fairfax, because their applicant pool is smaller, the academy is now focused on outreach to the most dedicated of potential recruits, like Mitra Imtiazian. She drives 3 hours both ways every day to attend this academy.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Inspired by the call to serve.
I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
But back in Philadelphia,
I can't imagine being more worried about law enforcement than I am right now.
John Hoyt with the city's police union says the sons and daughters of cops, many of whom used to jump at the chance to enter the family business, now are not.
The problem is those mothers and fathers that are current police officers or retired are saying don't go into the business.
Right now, Commissioner Outlaw's task, she believes, is to convince the Philadelphia community that policing is still a trusted profession, under pressure to grow her ranks before too many cops leave for good.
I've always been optimistic. Law enforcement has been around for how many years now? I mean,
And you don't think it's going anywhere?
No.
All right, Jay, thank you for that. Still ahead, how concerned should you be about the spike in flu activity today compared to, say, the last decade? Mega Millions is still up for grabs. We're going to tell you how much money could be yours or mine. I feel particularly lucky about this one. And how many crystals and lights are needed for the sparkling kaleidoscope that is the New Year's Eve ball? We're going to let you know by the numbers. But first, our tweet of the day. Happy birthday to one of the best to ever do it. NBA great LeBron James.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is where I belong. This is home. Real dirt in the sunlight again. I'm very excited. Anything could happen at any moment. My heart is so happy right now. We're making magic. We're making magic.
With so much at stake in our world right now, we wanted to thank you for your trust and for making ABC News America's #1 news.
And thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
It's the type of place where you can walk home by yourself late at night.
It really is the perfect college town.
Police are investigating the death of a freshman.
The victim had been stabbed 19 times.
I've never seen that much blood in any crime scene.
She was one of us.
She was everyone's best friend.
Could have been any of us.
I was just really scared.
While it's wonderful to think that you can leave your doors unlocked, don't.
Death in the dorms, only on Hulu.
Zoo! 200!
Oh, 200.
200 episodes of Dr. Pol. Music to my ears.
It's been 10 years, and I'm still having fun.
That rocks. He's got the moves that make your animals groove.
Now we do the dance of joy. Yay!
He's like the Justin Bieber of the
Headlining the hottest barns.
Shout out.
It's a show you won't want to miss.
I'm not going to be here forever. Maybe.
The Incredible Dr. Pol. New episodes Saturdays at 9 on Nat Geo Wild.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights. So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. No matter where you are in the world ushering in the new year, there's a pretty good chance watching the ball drop over New York's Times Square will be part of your celebration. So we've compiled a few details by the numbers. At 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, millions of people all over the world will cast their gaze on the Times Square New Year's Eve ball. That is when the 11,875-pound sphere will begin to drop, bedazzled in 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles. 192 crystals are specifically designed for each of the year's 9 themes. Those themes are love, wisdom, happiness, goodwill, harmony, serenity, kindness, wonder, and fortitude. All nice. The rest, 960 crystals to be exact, are cut to inspire our imaginations. They're all illuminated by 32,256 LEDs capable of displaying more than 16 million colors and billions of patterns as the spectacular kaleidoscope makes its descent. And when the clock strikes midnight, 602 more LED bulbs will light up to usher in 2023. The New Year's numbers weigh 1,160 pounds. The heaviest number, 0. Probably a lesson in there somewhere. So there you have it. Just a few things to look for when the ball drops tomorrow night. And we still have a ton to get to here on Prime. We'll tell you how Greta Thunberg's climate clapback led to a human trafficking arrest. And we invite you to take a look back at some of the impactful stories we reported on for you here on Prime. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
So much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
This is where I belong. This is home. Real dirt in the sunlight again. I'm very excited. Anything could happen at any moment. My heart is so happy right now. We're making magic. We're making magic.
It's the type of place where you can walk home by yourself late at night.
It really is the perfect college town.
Police are investigating the death of a freshman.
The victim had been stabbed 19 times.
I've never seen that much blood in any crime scene.
She was one of us.
She was everyone's best friend.
Could have been any of us.
I was just really scared.
While it's wonderful to think that you can leave your doors unlocked, don't.
Death in the dorms, only on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday. The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff. Yes! And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
Now streaming on ABC News Live 2020. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues, The Hunt. True crime 2020. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
28-year-old Brian Koberger taken into custody by Pennsylvania State Police and the FBI Friday morning. The suspect arrested after a criminal investigation into the brutal killings of 4 University of Idaho students led to Koberger's whereabouts in Monroe County, north of Philadelphia.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students. We do believe justice will be found through the criminal process.
Koberger, a graduate student at Washington State University, is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. Authorities received a tip that led them more than 2,500 miles across the country. It was back in November that roommates Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Xander Coronado and Coronado's boyfriend Ethan Chapin were all discovered inside a house off campus, stabbed to death.
Worldwide mourning has begun following the death of soccer great Pele. His funeral has been set for early next week at the stadium where he made his name. Brazil's soccer club says Pele's coffin will be placed in the center circle of Vila Belmiro Stadium, where the public will be allowed to pay their final respects. Pele died Thursday after a long battle with colon cancer at the age of 82.
Andrew Tate, the controversial social media personality and former kickboxer, was detained in Romania on charges of human trafficking and rape. Tate and his brother Tristan were among 4 suspects detained late Thursday. They were initially detained for 24 hours before officials extended their detention to 30 days. Suspects also charged with being part of an organized crime group. Romanian officials said they allegedly recruited women and sexually exploited them through physical violence and mental coercion. Officials say they've so far identified 6 women who were victimized by the group.
A new lawsuit is accusing Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler of sexually assaulting a minor in the 1970s. Rolling Stone reports that the suit includes allegations that Tyler convinced the plaintiff's mother to grant him guardianship of the girl when she was 16, and that they engaged in a years-long relationship. The plaintiff also reportedly claims she was coerced by Tyler and was powerless to resist his status and fame. Though Tyler and other defendants aren't directly named in the suit, Rolling Stone reports the victim has been public about her relationship with Tyler, and that the lawsuit directly quotes from his memoir.
The CDC estimates that so far this season there have been at least 20 million illnesses, more than 200,000 hospitalizations, and 13,000 deaths from the flu. The agency also says 41 states, as well as New York City, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico, are also reporting high to very high levels of influenza-like activity. Officials say that even though seasonal flu activity remains high, it is declining in most areas, and that the flu season started earlier and is more severe at this point in the year than any other since records have been kept over the last 10 years.
Lotto fever sweeping the nation as we get ready to ring in the new year. The massive Mega Millions jackpot soaring to $640 million, up a whopping $75 million within the last few days. This pot has been growing since October. It's the biggest prize ever offered around New Year's. The lump sum, an estimated $328 million. Not a bad way to start 2023.
We're tracking several headlines around the world right now as well. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese leader Xi Jinping have vowed to deepen their ties as Moscow's 10-month war in Ukraine rages on. Putin and Xi made no direct mention of Ukraine in their opening remarks by video conference, but they did hail a strengthening relationship between the two nations amid what they call geopolitical tensions and a difficult international situation. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro will not be attending the inauguration of Lula da Silva, and he's actually left the country for Florida. Despite no proof of election fraud during his final address, Bolsonaro insisted that he will not stop opposing Lula's presidency. Often referred to as the Trump of the tropics, Bolsonaro said he did his best for the South American nation during his 4 years as leader. Prayers continue for Pope Emeritus Benedict as a holy mass was celebrated in his honor in Rome today. According to the Vatican, Benedict had a peaceful night last night and even participated in a mass conducted in his room. He described his condition as stable. So the saying goes, age is just a number, and a movie icon who is taking another swing at TV is proving just that. Jeff Bridges stars in The Old Man, airing on FX and Hulu, as a former CIA spy forced to go on the run. And as Bridges filmed the thriller, complete with doing his own fight scenes, he was unknowingly living with cancer. Here's my candid conversation with him.
Hey, kid, it's me. They found me.
Doug, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. The dogs are fine. Thought I covered the tracks. You and I were not going to be able to talk again. Remember that I love you, that I'll always love you.
They have a lot of love and respect for you as a person, as an actor. And when this role came to you, what was your first thought when you read whatever it is that you read about?
Well, it's I followed my normal MO, which is to resist. You know, that's my first call. Resist it, because I know if I do this, I won't be able to do that, and I don't even know what that is. My dad, Lloyd Bridges, he had 6 or 7 TV series. And I remember as a kid how hard he worked and how frustrated he was about the time and, you know, the execution of pulling it all off. So I said, that's a good reason to resist. So I thought, yeah, do an experiment, Jeff. Just, you know, at least meet these creators and have a talk.
Jeff, in an action role, this guy who is, the show is called The Old Man. It's an older guy, but it's a guy who's lived a life, just what he's been able to do physically and for the country. And then all of a sudden, you're living this life as an older man, and yet you're getting into these brawls. And then you're showing these big bruises on your side. And what was that like to, at your age, do these kind of fights?
Any more you send it, ma'am, send them back in bags. Well, I've done a lot of fights in my career, and I love doing it. It's like, you know, a kid thing or something. But I think this is the most extensive fight stuff I've done. We were lucky to have, you know, again, 2 master stunt coordinators, Henry Kinsey and Tim Connolly, who, you know, choreographed this thing. And it's like when you're acting a scene, you want it to be real and you want it to be exciting and surprising. And those guys apply all that to these fighting, you know.
These fight scenes are very real.
Very real, and yeah.
One thing I love about your character, and about characters, period, what motivates them, you know, it's not good and evil, it's not white and black, right and wrong, there's a little bit of everything.
What he believes, by his own righteousness, what he feels right, he's willing to die for, basically.
Right, and kill for.
Yeah.
What do you like about this character?
You know, one of the themes is consequences. You know, our actions have results from those actions, and sometimes they look a lot different than what you were hoping for. And so that's a theme that I find, you know, fascinating. I think everybody can relate to that.
You have no idea how different the game is than the last time you played it.
Have you worked with John in the past, or was this the first time?
No. I think we shot 4 or 5 episodes, and then we broke for the pandemic. Then I got sick, and 2 years passed before I went back to work, and John and I had not had any scenes together.
You know, you were battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and then COVID. I mean, it was a year of tremendous trying health.
Oh, I'll say.
Yeah, well, you will. Tell me about it.
Oh, man. And, you know, then there was, you know, the cancer and COVID, but between those was the chemo. And what chemo does, it strips you of all your natural immune systems to get at the cancer. And so when I got COVID, I had no immune system working to fight it. And I got really, really sick, touch or go, whether I was going to make it or not. And at the same time, my wife got it, so we shared an ambulance to the hospital. You know.
How long were you in the hospital for?
She was in for 5 days. I was in for about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
So when I came back, we got to, you know, we had such a ball, and the scenes that John Steinberg wrote are, you know, quite unusual for television.
The experience overall, doing TV this time around was what at the end of the day?
Well, it was terrific. I had a lot of assumptions that it was going to be different than movies. But it wasn't. It had its own unique vibe, but it certainly was just as, you know, concentrated on making a great product. And it always, since you had enough time to do it, the people that were involved were, you know, top-notch people. It was, you know, just the same as making a movie, really. But it was this idea of a series, so there's a lot more time to develop a character and more twists and turns.
What I'm built for. Defending things. Defending. All the best things I've done in my life have been in service of that.
All right, now to the image of the day. The iconic Times Square New Year's Eve ball tested in preparation to be sent up that 130-foot pole for the big celebration tomorrow night. And on this last Friday of 2022, we here at Prime want to thank you for the privilege of your trust and your viewership. Some of you have been with us for years. For those of you who have recently joined us, we are so glad you are here. We look forward to providing you more news, context, and analysis in 2023. For now, we're going to leave you with some of the most impactful stories we brought you this year. I'm Phil Lipoff. Happy New Year.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis here in Warsaw, Poland, in Edinburgh, Scotland, in Buffalo, in Uvalde, Texas. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. It's our series, Race to November.
My definition of patriotism was when I put on the uniform of this country.
You know, my father was an immigrant, born on a dirt floor.
Quitting was not an option.
If you want to be successful and you want to win, you got to make the people around you better.
I just want to create better opportunities for others.
With her, you can't beat her.
That was good.
Republican Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker.
Did you ever have a conversation with this woman about an abortion?
No.
Is she lying?
Flat out denial, lie.
Ian Panel joins us now from the capital of Ukraine.
I really believe that although today has been difficult, there are darker, harder days ahead.
At refugee centers like this, hundreds are coming and going every day. And at least here, they are safe, they are warm, they are fed as they contemplate what's next.
Even in the darkest of days, Ukrainians still remain defiant, singing to keep hopes up.
She breathes to me, where do I start? I love to sing very much.
This is the Kosapir River in northern Kenya. In a good year, I would be underwater, but this is not a good year.
Do you feel abandoned by the world?
Sure, yes. اگر پشت سر نگذاشتن مگه میتونستن مورد رقم فراموش کنن؟
This lady over here died with cancer. This house over here, the husband has cancer and the wife has cancer.
You hear the complaints about crime in Buckhead.
Buckhead, 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 Buckhead. They kind of ignore the rest of us.
Are you bracing to see a surge in patients?
Yeah, we said this is ground zero and we're bracing for impact for sure. Projections indicate that Illinois as a state might see up to 30,000 additional abortion patient seekers.
Was there any point where you said, are you responsible for this shooting or
I know he wasn't because we all was at the house. Yeah. And I told the police that.
The circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis says that I'm innocent. Why can't you free me?
I was using methamphetamine, but when the stillbirth happened, it crushed me.
A crushing loss compounded, she says, by what came next.
They said that I was under arrest for homicide.
An explosion nearly killed us. And this shows one of the medics who saved me.
Our go-to drug was fentanyl.
And you knew that this would kill my pain?
Yes.
The same man who had used fentanyl to save me ultimately became addicted to opioids himself.
The late 80s. Thousands dying of an invisible enemy.
I found out that Johnny had AIDS through him being hospitalized. We had no forewarning.
I want to dedicate this award to my Uncle Johnny, the most fabulous gay man I've ever known and I ever knew.
The cover of the book.
Yeah, when my mom initially died, I was devastated. And the process of recognizing, acknowledging, naming, and facing the abuse was a difficult process.
It's game day, baby. Yeah, man.
The team charging onto the field, flying their flag. Uvalde strong. Here in Uvalde, football is a religion. And tonight in the stands and in the sounds, you can almost feel the presence of a higher power.
We were complete strangers. We came together, and now we're family.
Your drawings are so precise, and you're able to do it so quickly.
It's just a lot of years of practice. I drew you.
Oh, my goodness.
I had a dream about you last night.
Every night on tour, I have a moment where like I just put the lights up and I really look at everybody. That's the reason I do it.
Writing about nuanced like perspectives and describing how that feels. It's pretty easy when you just keep it truthful.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
It's just so amazing to just look around and see like Asian names everywhere.
A lot of Asian women are these characters. Yeah. Complicated, strong.
When I first started stand-up, I realized very quickly there wasn't anything on television that showed us in a positive light.
Our movie is centered around a very imperfect family, and it's important that people of color or marginalized people also have a space to be imperfect.
Representation matters. It mattered in the 60s, it mattered in the 70s, it mattered in the 80s. I mean, it matters.
Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us.
so much at stake in our world right now, we wanted to thank you for your trust and for making ABC News America's #1 news.
And thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
after an extraordinary news-making year, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasured that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
From America's #1 news source comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter. And it can customize to you and your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience what all the buzz is about. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now. We're honored ABC's 2020 winner of 3 Emmy Awards for Excellence. Thank you for making 2020 Friday night's most watched and most honored news magazine.
This is where I belong. This is home. Real dirt in the sunlight again. I'm very excited. Anything could happen at any moment. My heart is so happy right now. We're making magic. We're making magic.
Many thought legalization would be the end of scenes like this.
This is the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Exit the building and walk towards the large green vehicle.
Legal marijuana is growing in the U.S.
Marijuana on the market has become a legitimate billion-dollar business.
President Joe Biden pardoning those with prior federal convictions of simple marijuana possession.
It's already legal in many states. Come out with your hands empty and above your head.
But as states continue to legalize recreational cannabis, a growing chorus of officials warn that for some, America's freedom to smoke may be coming at the cost of actual personal freedoms for some farm workers.
Con la pistola en mano nos dijo, nadie sale de aquí.
One more. 6 total so far from the second group.
It's the human factor to see the conditions that these people are being put in every single day to the point that they're literally dying is heartbreaking.
Over the last year, ABC News has been tracking the underbelly of legalization.
Lights on the black pickup are flashing.
Law enforcement storming onto farms, sifting through lush green fields of illegally grown marijuana to find the squalid conditions for farm workers who tend to these crops, some of them not getting paid.
We have drug trafficking organizations that are keeping people in slavery.
They don't have bathrooms. They're forced to sleep in tents. Others who have been sold into prostitution at night.
Nos tuvimos que quedar ahí, nos íbamos por 15 días y nos tuvimos que quedar un mes porque los señores, hasta que no termináramos la mota de trimear, teníamos que salir de ahí. Si salíamos, nos apuntaban con la pistola.
This single mother of 3 who asked that we alter her voice and not show her face, recalling the horror that she says she endured.
Yo oré por todos los que íbamos porque temíamos que un día podían ellos agarrar su mismo lo que era y balacearnos a todos.
They call this Rogue Valley, tucked away in far southwest Oregon between the Cascade Range and Siskiyou Mountains, graced with freshwater streams and blessed with favorable temperatures almost year-round. This part of the country is like a farmer's dream.
This is the first time in my life where I felt like I had a deep connection with the earth.
Chris Hall moved here back in 2012, almost immediately taking advantage of the area's perfect growing conditions.
We were able to work the land, grow gardens, and in fact, we even grew cannabis. We did that under the authority of the Oregon Medical Marijuana Program.
In 2015, Oregon's Governor Kate Brown legalized the sale of marijuana for recreational use. The move was supposed to help the state generate tax revenue and curb the black market. But years later, authorities say cartels are taking advantage of the limited oversight by blending into communities and could be potentially running thousands of unlicensed marijuana farms.
We've had bodies show up at a station that have been dropped off because they've literally been worked to death.
Robert Hammer is the special agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, for the Pacific Northwest. Just over a year ago, the news of a dying man being left on the side of the road at this gas station in Southern Oregon set off alarm bells for his team.
We responded to a state and local call where they had a 911 call where a body had been dropped off at a local gas station. And we were able to track that back as a worker on one of the farms.
Is it safe to call these people narco slaves?
Given what I've seen, I feel that that is a very accurate title. I think that this is solely focused on the narcotics from the cartel perspective. That's how they're making their money. And they're making it on the backs of the exploitation of these people. I can guarantee you that they would tell us today that they were slaves if they could.
But how many captive farm workers are out there is anyone's guess. HSI is now working closely with state and local law enforcement to target these illegal farms and root out the cartels.
They're organizations, as you would think of as a corporation in the United States. They're very sophisticated. We are seeing the exploitation of our real estate markets. We're seeing the exploitation of our banking industry, all related to this ever-growing threat down there.
We embedded with HSI on a joint raid with local authorities in October.
We are about 15 miles outside of Medford, and we're in a convoy headed to the raid site with about 30 other vehicles.
On this property, about 20 miles outside Medford, agents found 17 workers and a 2-year-old toddler. A total of 3 neighboring properties were raided. At this site, law enforcement says they counted a little over 100 illegal greenhouses, more than 8,500 black market marijuana plants, and 7,000 pounds of processed illegal cannabis.
We're not trying to look at it as, oh, this is just another marijuana operation. We're really trying to focus on the fact that this is the exploitation of people. This is the destruction of the environment through illegal pesticides.
After each raid, authorities bulldoze and demolish the grow site in order to keep the illegal farm from resurfacing. But more than 70 miles away, scenes from a different raid frozen in time, clues to just how widespread this problem could be.
It's a landfill, and it's going to take a huge amount of work to clean this back up. So on all of these sites, of which there were hundreds of them, this is just one place. People were living, and to use the term narco-slave is not hyperbole. People were living in slave conditions. They were not allowed to leave the properties. They were under armed guards. There were insufficient places to use the bathroom.
The owner was completely unaware of what was happening on his property.
But a month ago, this place was run by an organized crime syndicate. The organized crime syndicates that were running this particular operation, they trespassed onto this property. The landowner who lives in Phoenix just didn't know what was going on.
Concerned about these illegal grow sites and the people being forced to work here, Chris decided to do something about it, taking to the skies to gather and map the farms in a job for the local government, where he says he found hundreds.
So over 700 grow areas.
Almost 800, yeah.
Are illegal.
Were never licensed, yes. So the regulation is, theoretically, it's up in Salem. However, the problem is so big, and Salem was caught off guard so fast and so quickly, the state really had no ability to respond to it. Our local sheriff used the cliche that it's like drinking out of a fire hose.
Recently, Oregon finalized rules that would require licensed farms and their employees to report any suspected sex or human trafficking. It's unclear whether the new rules will have any impact for the hundreds of illegal farms Chris says he found during his flight.
The human toll is impossible to hide from. It's impossible to get away from.
This is in your backyard?
It's in my backyard. It is happening here in Cave Junction. It is happening throughout Southwest Oregon, and it's happening throughout the northern parts of California.
Victims, once silent, sharing their harrowing stories they will likely never forget.
Se siente horrible, horrible, te sientes humillada, pisoteada, te sientes burlada, con ganas de morirte. Es algo horrible que se siente. Es una impotencia, no puedo explicar eso, da mucho coraje.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The state of Oregon was one of the first to legalize the growing of recreational marijuana. The goal was to regulate the industry and generate tax revenue.
This is the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Exit the building and walk towards the large green vehicle.
Instead, in the last 8 years, authorities say the legalization of recreational marijuana in states around the country created a breeding ground for black market pot, often grown by the cartels.
One more.
This is the underbelly of legalization, an ugly, out-of-control problem that thrives on human trafficking.
It's the human factor to see the conditions that these people are being put in every single day to the point that they're literally dying is heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking that it's rampant.
A veces me quisiera ir a México. Le han dado muchas ganas de regresar. Pero pues ya estoy aquí, ya tengo que aguantar. He llorado y he querido, y cuando hablo con mi familia, pues lloro. Pero ellos jamás saben de nada de esto. Horrible, te sientes humillada, pisoteada, te sientes burlada, con ganas de morirte.
Over a year ago, a woman we will call Alejandra fled Mexico, risking her life to cross the border with the hope of finding a job to provide for her 3 children. Now determined to tell her story, but worried the cartels could come after her, she asked us to distort her voice and not show her face. Alejandra shared this video of her scaling over the U.S.-Mexico border wall. She tells us she fell 13 feet trying to cross into the United States, limping as she walked further into Texas.
Caminé 5 horas. Estuve 5 horas caminando o arrastrándome. Nos persiguió 1 hora la migra. Y de repente, cuando menos, se metía entre los carros, se metía entre el tráfico y lo perdimos, no supimos ni dónde.
She spent 2 months in El Paso working as she recovered, eventually deciding to move to Oregon.
La persona que me llevó a Ciudad Juárez me recomendó que en Oregon era mejor pagado. Esa persona había trabajado ahí por 5 años y le fue muy bien.
Alejandra says she accepted a job at a farm near Medford, Oregon. She had 9 years of experience in agriculture, and initially, nothing about the job seemed out of the ordinary.
Nos dieron el trabajo, íbamos a estar 15 días trabajando nada más y que nos pagarían cada semana.
The day they arrived, Alejandra says the managers treated them well. But a day later, things took a dramatic turn.
Una persona y yo intenté salir porque quería mis pastillas, porque yo tengo colesterol. Con la pistola en mano nos dijo, nadie sale de aquí. Nadie sale de aquí hasta que no terminen la mota de trimear. Nadie ni sale, nadie entra.
Alejandra had worked trimming marijuana plants before, but she says never under conditions like this.
Éramos prisioneros porque no podíamos salir. Trabajábamos demasiado, desde las 6 de la mañana hasta las 2, 3 de la mañana trabajábamos. Nos presionaban para que trabajáramos más rápido la mota. Ahí en el campamento habían 3 hombres armados y siempre andaban observándonos a ver qué hacíamos. Siempre andaban checando a ver qué es lo que andábamos haciendo. Nos seguían. Los teléfonos pues no agarraban nada, no teníamos señal. Siempre se ponían bien locos. Cuando le preguntaban que cuándo iba a ser la paga, sí se saltaban. Abusan en el pago, abusan de que lo tratan a uno como si fuera un animal. Es un miedo que pues tú piensas que a lo mejor ya no ibas a regresar ya. Siempre pensé en mis hijos, en mi madre, que pues que los volviera a ver. Personas están abusando demasiado de la gente, más de las que no tenemos papeles, los indocumentados.
Experts say these workers are vulnerable and desperate, making them easy targets for exploitation by cartels and others. So you have all of these issues going on, and what does that force migrant communities to do? Where are they going for work?
We've seen even people, walking here for months that have come up here. Other ones who are being contracted in their hometowns. So when they get here, then they're expecting a certain type of employment, like they're expecting to be working in the strawberries or grapes or something. So then they take them up into the illegal marijuana fields.
The NGO UNETE has been fighting for migrant farm worker rights for over 2 decades. They step in after a raid to make sure farm workers have access to food and shelter. Many are from Central America.
Honduras, they're having the huge hurricanes. Much of that is related to climate change. In Guatemala, extreme droughts where people who are really subsistence farmers that survive on really what they produce, there's nothing. So these families, when they get this promise of, hey, you can make, this much money an hour and you're gonna be making, thousands of dollars and you can bring it home to your family. Well, of course, they're desperate. They're totally at the mercy of the people who are their contractors.
Authorities say this allows the illegal farms, often controlled by the cartels, to have total control over the lives of workers. Most workers, if not all, are undocumented. They worry about being deported, about being hurt, or even worse, having the cartels go after their families back in their home countries.
They don't have any access to be able to contact agencies like us or be able to contact law enforcement. I think just that level of fear and the fear that their families might be harmed, they're just willing to just keep quiet. Most of them don't want to be working in the marijuana fields, but it's their only option.
Pues yo cuando empecé en el 2021, fuimos y nos llevaron ahí a trabajar en el GEN. Quieren ellos Es como si fueras al trabajo de la uva, vas a ir y venir. Y cuando llegamos ahí no fue así.
Another woman we will call Maria, who also asked us to conceal her face and alter her voice, says she heard about a job in Oregon through someone that called themselves a contractor. They didn't verify her immigration status, and they paid well.
Llegamos y empezamos a trabajar y ya cuando pues uno dice ya a las 5 pues nos vamos.
Maria says there were armed men guarding the doors. When she asked about them, she was told they were protecting the crops from thieves. But just like in Alejandra's case, she says when the workers were ready to leave, they were stopped by the guards.
No podíamos salir hasta que se terminara la cosecha.
How long was that? ¿Cuántos meses o semanas o...?
Lo que durara.
¿Y cómo se mira en el campo? ¿Hay baños ahí?
No.
¿Hay camas?
No.
¿Dónde acostaron?
En el piso o en colchones inflables.
¿Y cuántas personas están ahí contigo?
Había muchas. Había muchas.
Maria says there were almost 200 workers in that illegal farm. She says in the middle of August, in the summer heat, they were forced to work from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. The guards would determine when they would wake up, eat, and go to bed.
¿Y cómo se escapó?
Nosotros salimos porque cayó la policía. Fue temprano, como a las 6 de la mañana. Estaba todavía la mayoría todavía dormidos. Cuando cayó el policía, escuchamos primero una avioneta y helicópteros y un dron andaba. Y luego llegaron los carros, yo no sé, andaban vestidos de militar, lo que se llegaron. Y pues la gente toda corría.
¿Dónde corrieron?
Al monte, al campo, a escondernos.
¿Tenía miedo?
Sí.
¿De la policía?
De todo. No sabíamos por qué había hombres armados. No sabíamos de quién escondernos.
Maria told us she hid for 12 hours in the brush, then walked back to camp, finding everything and everyone gone.
¿Por qué no hablaron con la policía?
Por miedo también de que nos echaran a la cárcel o algo.
¿Creen que van a deportar?
Tal vez sí.
Alejandra and Maria's stories are just two among thousands. Last December, Oregon lawmakers agreed the problem with illegal pot farms was out of control, recognizing the cartels had infiltrated their industry and migrants were being trafficked to work the fields. But help can't come fast enough.
Con miedo, siempre que vamos así, vamos a los trabajos, cuando hay, pues con miedo, pero pues tenemos que trabajar.
Alejandra and Maria both say they never got paid for their work. The contractors vanished, leaving the women with nothing but bad memories and the fear it will happen again.
Pues es difícil recordar todo eso y sin poder hablar porque pues uno no conoce a las personas. ¿Qué tal si toman represalias contra uno, con la familia que uno tiene? Por eso es mejor quedarse callado.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
THC, the human cost, is immeasurable at this point. The growing demand for marijuana products creating a black market across America that's outpacing the government's ability to protect people.
The only thing that they care about is profit. And if you're in the way of the profit, they're coming after you.
Just last week, prosecutors say a man murdered 4 workers at an illegal cannabis farm in Oklahoma after demanding payment for his alleged investment in the operation. And in the last year, authorities discovered 750 unregistered cannabis farms just in Los Angeles County alone.
The solution is to legalize, regulate, and tax.
Oregon Congressman Earl Blumenauer says the problem isn't states like his legalizing marijuana. It's the federal government refusing to act.
What we are seeing across the country in terms of problems is totally a product of a dysfunctional federal policy. People who try to play by the rules are dramatically disadvantaged. They face higher costs. There's no effective regulation for the people who cheat. In fact, the incentives are for the black market.
Currently, 21 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized recreational use of marijuana. Advocates say the product needs to be decriminalized nationally to prevent cartels from smuggling cannabis to buyers in states where it's still illegal.
We need to move forward with comprehensive cannabis reform, and if they're able to, the black market issues will decline and the cartels will lose their advantage.
Improved regulatory practices are also a must.
There's no regulation. Not to say that it's only the illegal growers that aren't paying. The legal growers also. There's several of those that aren't paying as well. We're still seeing, abuses and things in those areas too.
Officers in Oregon are working on creating more incentives for farm workers, hoping to combat labor exploitation.
The law is very clear. If you're a victim of human trafficking, the law is on your side. There are various protections that we can put in place in order to mitigate any type of immigration concern that these victims would have.
That includes visas for trafficking victims in exchange for cooperating with law enforcement officials against their captors.
The best way that we can do is just support the workers, continue to educate the workers on their rights, and that we can help support them like with wage claims or help them with temporary housing, whatever the issues might be.
Above all, Blumenauer says time is of the essence. The black market marijuana trade will continue to thrive on U.S. soil if the status quo remains.
The demand continues. The need is greater than ever because of what you're documenting in terms of the illegal activities and forced labor, the environmental problems. If we were able to vote on this issue on the floor of the House and the Senate, the problem would be gone in a week.
Que se cuelga de la gente, y saquen bien sus papeles para que se puedan trabajar en una parte mejor y no sea la mota. O sea,
que hay veces que si quiero olvidar todo.
¿Pero puede?
No.
It's the type of place where you can walk home by yourself late at night.
It really is the perfect college town.
Police are investigating the death of a freshman.
The victim had been stabbed 19 times.
I've never seen that much blood in any crime scene.
She was one of us.
She was everyone's best friend.
Could have been any of us.
I was just really scared.
While it's wonderful to think that you can leave your doors unlocked, don't.
Death in the Dorms, only on Hulu. This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
This is where I belong. This is home. Real dirt in the sunlight again. I'm very excited. Anything could happen at any moment.
My heart is so happy right now.
We're making magic.
We're making magic.
So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
After an extraordinary news-making year, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, exclusives. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
This is Nightline.
Take me to day one of the pre-sale day.
Yeah.
Did you even get a code?
Yeah, so I did get a code.
So what went wrong?
Everything. Mine crashed immediately. Trying hard to keep my morale high. And then it finally pops up and loads, and it does the, there's 2,000 plus people in front of you.
What's going through your head at this point?
I'm kind of panicked.
First, there was the anticipation. But when the queue opened up to finally buy tickets for Taylor Swift's upcoming stadium tour,
Oh, no, what just happened?
her fans, the Swifties, went from freaking out
Are you joking? What?
to melting down.
The tickets you have selected have been released. The line has stopped moving. The website fully crashed. I waited in line for like 6 hours.
Now, Ticketmaster, the company responsible for selling these tickets, is facing increased scrutiny, with fans and government officials demanding answers on what many claim are unfair practices. All of that chaos was triggered by Taylor Swift's November 1st announcement.
And I finally get to tell you, I'm going back on tour.
Her big news came just days after she dropped her record-breaking album, Midnights, which filled all top 10 spots on the Billboard charts with inescapable hits like Anti-Hero.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
This will be the first time Taylor's hit the road since her 2018 Reputation Stadium Tour. Featured in the Netflix movie of the same name.
People are really just hungry to see Taylor Swift perform live.
Her fans are incredibly devoted. They're incredibly passionate, and that is to her credit. When she says she cares about her fans, we're talking about an artist who literally has baked them cookies.
People have not been able to see the artists that they've wanted to see perform because of the pandemic. Major artists are now announcing tours. People have to figure this out and get it together.
But the Swifties took it to a whole other level of demand.
So one of the biggest frustrations about this ticket sale is Taylor Swift fans were led to believe that they specifically had multiple avenues to be able to secure tickets to the tour. So we're right outside Columbus, Ohio right now to link up with superfan Nicole Hallberg, who says she checked all those boxes. So let's see if she was able to get tickets. So I'm looking at your desk over here, and it looks a bit more like a Taylor shrine than a desk.
I would say that is correct. I mean, we have everything, even water bottles. It's 11:30, and my line hasn't moved in an hour.
Like many fans, Nicole wasn't able to get a ticket during the fan presale, but she had a Capital One credit card, which let her get into another special presale just one day later.
I started with the Cincinnati show, couldn't get any tickets. I tried Arizona, I tried LA, I tried Seattle, I tried Chicago. I mean, I must have went to probably 8 different cities.
And then Ticketmaster canceled the general sale, Nicole's last chance at tickets, due to, quote, insufficient remaining ticket inventory.
It was just gone. And that was a very hard reality to accept.
Does any part of you blame Taylor?
You can't look at Taylor and say that she's just the artist. She doesn't have control. She's Taylor the businesswoman. She's Taylor the corporation.
I'm so upset right now because I was in line for Taylor Swift tickets.
As more fans lost out on tickets, they started looking for someone or something to blame.
This was a terrible experience. I'm really disappointed.
And a lot of them looked at Ticketmaster.
All of these things were preventable.
Days following the incident, Taylor put out a statement on her Instagram story, never naming Ticketmaster, but writing in part, "I'm not going to make excuses for anyone because we asked them multiple times if they could handle this kind of demand, and we were assured they could." Adding in reference to her fans, "It really pisses me off that a lot of them feel like they went through several bear attacks to get them." Representatives for Ticketmaster, though, said there was just no way to prepare for all these buyers. On CNBC's Squawk on the Street, the CEO of Liberty Media, a majority stakeholder in Ticketmaster, said,
"All the Live Nation team is sympathetic that the long wait times and fans who couldn't get what they wanted. The site was supposed to be opened up for 1.5 million verified Taylor Swift fans. We had 14 million people hit the site, including bots. We could have filled 900 stadiums."
Everybody knew going into this there weren't going to be enough tickets for all the buyers, but what people wanted was a fair process where they felt like they at least had the opportunity to get them.
Because people have this personal connection with Taylor, and because individuals who want to resell the tickets to the people who want to go out to the shows, that's why we have this particular problem.
Ticketmaster does have a tool to try to slow down the ticket resale market called dynamic pricing.
The idea behind dynamic pricing is to match the real market value of the tickets. So if a particular artist is exceptionally popular, the tickets are priced a little bit higher right away because there's an algorithm that recognizes that tickets that might otherwise cost, let's say, $100 could theoretically be sold on the secondary market for $1,000 or maybe 2 or 3 times that. So dynamic pricing allows the artist to capture this revenue herself rather than simply see someone who's sitting in front of a computer, has nothing to do with the show, contributes nothing artistically, make that profit by buying the ticket and then reselling it.
There's been speculation that Taylor was using dynamic pricing this tour, but for the first time, her team is speaking out. A spokesperson told Impact exclusively that, quote, "Taylor chose not to use and will not use dynamic or platinum pricing on Taylor Swift The Eras Tour." Over the years, Ticketmaster has only gotten more powerful, especially after a 2010 merger with mega promoter Live Nation.
When you have this kind of monopoly power, when you have no competition, it discourages innovation, it degrades quality, it produces higher prices, all those things which are very harmful to consumers and to the quality of life that my constituents live and the quality of life of people all across this country.
According to Yale School of Management, Ticketmaster currently controls over 70% of the market for ticketing and live events.
You have the world's largest concert promoter that owns the world's largest ticketing company that also has a management group with about 100 managers and 450 of the world's best known and most talented artists. And this same company owns and operates venues. To a lot of people, this looks very much like a vertical monopoly.
The New York Times is reporting that the Justice Department is actually already looking into the company. They've been asking around for months about whether Ticketmaster engages in monopolistic practices.
Ticketmaster has a hugely dominant market position, so we're looking at this from both a consumer protection and antitrust perspective.
Even Jonathan Scrimetti, the Attorney General of Taylor's home state, is investigating the issue.
The concern is there is a huge incentive for people to game this system, and tickets in the tens of thousands of dollars appear to be somewhat common. So there's a huge markup here, and where people have that kind of incentive, we have to be awfully careful to make sure that there's nobody putting a thumb on the scales and getting a cut of that.
Ticketmaster's parent company, Live Nation, defended itself in a November 19th statement, saying, "Live Nation takes its responsibilities under the antitrust laws seriously and does not engage in behaviors that would require it to alter fundamental business practices." They also said it has a significant share of the primary ticketing services market because of the large gap that exists between the quality of the Ticketmaster system and the next best primary ticketing system. That Ticketmaster continues to be the leader in such an environment is a testament to the platform and those who operate it, not to any anti-competitive business practices.
You can't call this the straw that broke the camel's back, because the camel was broken. What happened is, all of a sudden, a bunch of kids saw the camel in pain. And that's not good.
What I do know is Ticketmaster or whomever else has to figure out how to solve this before Beyonce announces her tour. Because if you think the Swifties are bad, the Beehive, you don't want to mess with the Beehive.
Our thanks to Ashen. Ticketmaster offered a new opportunity to buy tickets for certain eligible fans who weren't able to purchase them the first time around. For more on the Ticketmaster fiasco, you can stream Impact by Nightline exclusively on Hulu.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
Here at the White House.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7 straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
It's the type of place where you can walk home by yourself late at night.
It really is the perfect college town.
What should have been a great 4 years became tragedy.
I get a phone call.
I just kind of froze. Is this true? What's going on? This can't be happening.
They said, if you're a praying person, now is the time to pray.
Police are investigating the death of a freshman.
The victim had been stabbed 19 times.
We were screaming and screaming her name.
I've never seen that much blood in any crime scene.
Police really needed to get to the bottom of this.
It was one of those aha moments.
It was explosive.
What kind of animal does this?
She was one of us.
She was everyone's best friend.
Could have been any of us.
I was just really scared.
While it's wonderful to think that you can leave your doors unlocked, don't.
Death in the Dorms, only on Hulu.
Bring them on.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom! Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
So, what's good to read? And we mean really good to read right now. Well, that's where Charlie and Kate Gibson can help.
Join us for the new podcast series. It is called The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie.
We will make sure you love what you read.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. At a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
What if you could go on a vacation like this? One catch. You have no idea where you're headed. Companies are now offering a new way to get away.
For me, I think it's just, why not have someone else do it? Why not surprise yourself?
Erica Silverman and Lexi Marchbank are young professionals living in New York City. But in 4 weeks, they could be anywhere in the country.
We have no idea where we're going. Essentially, it's a surprise vacation.
I'm really excited to kind of, not plan anything, because all I do is plan things.
The two are going on a surprise vacation, paying the company Pack Up and Go to not tell them where they're going. This trend is a growing part of the travel industry. Companies offering surprise trips, saying they've seen the demand for their services explode post-COVID. Pack Up and Go sends over 7,000 travelers a year around the country.
How are you explaining it to people at work? Like, oh, I'm going on vacation. They're like, that's so fun. Where are you going? And you're like, ah.
Actually, I think it's kind of fun to say that when someone is like, oh, you're going on a trip. Where are you going? To be like, I have no idea. I'll find out when I go.
What is your guys' budget going in?
The recommended budget for 2 travelers is $1,700.
Yeah.
So sticking to that.
Pack Up and Go has its clients fill out a comprehensive form.
When you travel, what do you prioritize?
Definitely food and dining.
Laying out everything they would and wouldn't want for their dream trip.
So we have a real person who is looking to see where this traveler has been recently, where they visit frequently, what they like to do, dietary restrictions, hobbies and interests, and we book it from there.
Maybe a week before our trip, we'll get an envelope in the mail that has our destination and like recommended itineraries and all of those things. And then we go to the airport and we'll open the envelope and find out where we're going. Ready for a trip?
I am. I'm so excited.
2 weeks later, after packing for somewhere, they arrived at the airport, ready for the big reveal.
We have our envelope from Pack Up and Go that has our destination. Okay, it says no peeking. Ready? Nashville! It is the town! Yay! Oh my God, yay!
After a short flight, arriving in Nashville, aka Music City, ready to explore.
We're just gonna end up on the influencers in the wild.
Yes, probably.
The day's events, visiting the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, whoa.
A must-see for music lover Erica. And taking in Nashville's iconic Broadway Strip. Home of the late-night honky-tonks. But that late night didn't stop them from a 13-mile bike tour in the morning. Their trip, a much-needed break from daily life. But for others, only a life-changing vacation will do.
For me, when I travel, there has to be meaning behind it. So it's absolutely soul-searching and finding meaning.
Esther Spengler booked a trip with Black Tomato, a vacation company that books clients on surprise trips to death-defying places with a hefty price tag.
I had this weird childhood fantasy just my whole life, like being on my own, isolated out in the middle of nowhere. I really felt this, calling on my life that I was going to go places where nobody had ever been before.
The Texas mother of two sent on an 11-day journey into the Atlas Mountains of Morocco.
Were there some days that were just mentally tough?
At the very outset of the second day, I had to do this scramble up a pretty steep, rocky cliff thing.
Right.
Whew. I was cold and numb when I started, and I was sweating by the time I got to the top.
To pay the $13K price tag, she started a GoFundMe and even sold her plasma as a last-ditch money-making effort. But she says it was all worth it.
For the first time in about 10 years, something inside of me it's like my heart started beating again.
But not everyone walks away feeling so good. For Michael Wade and Taylor Diedrich, that $3,000 surprise was unwelcome. When they signed up for a surprise vacation using a different company, they thought they'd listed all the places they didn't want to go.
So I open it up, and it's a sheet of paper that's got a picture of like one of the main buildings of Austin, Texas. It says Austin with exclamation marks. And I shut it and I said, "Are you sure you didn't choose Texas as a place we didn't want to go?"
And Michael, how did you react when you saw it on the paper? It said Austin with 8 exclamation points.
I said, I don't want to go on this trip anymore.
But the couple kept an open mind.
We had a wine and barbecue tour that was scheduled by them. And we ended up making really, really good friends with everyone on our tour.
Even an unexpected envelope managing to turn serendipitous, whether it's sending you to the cliffs of Morocco or the bars of Nashville or a place you've already been, or whether you know where you're going or not. At the end of the day, it's still a vacation.
There are so few times in our lives as adults that we are genuinely surprised in a good way. And having something as fun as a vacation that you're already so excited about and already looking forward to, and amplifying that by just adding one more element of an anticipation, I think is really, really exciting for a lot of travelers.
She always wanted to put more good into the world. She loved dancing, she loved creating, she loved being active and making funny videos and singing. She just was a bright light, just pure sunshine is the only way that I could describe her.
Behind the big smile of 11-year-old Selena Rodriguez, a painful struggle.
This heartbreak that you feel, it never goes away. You miss her coming in the door, you miss her laugh. That's something that we'll never get back.
And the heartbreak left behind after she died by suicide last July. Now, Selena's mother Tammy and sister Destiny are turning their grief into action, suing social media giants Meta Platforms, the parent company of Instagram and Facebook, and also Snap Inc., the parent company of Snapchat, alleging that their 11-year-old suffered severe mental harm, leading to physical injury and death from her use of and exposure to Instagram and Snapchat. They say Selena first used the apps at age 9 and for 2 years struggled with extreme addiction to them.
We definitely started noticing that she stopped interacting with us, and she was very recluse towards the end of everything, and she just always wanted to be on the phone. I think she kind of grew dependent on it.
Tammy, as a mom, you took away the phone, right?
Yes, that was a few times I had tried doing that, and it would create just an explosion where she would get physical with us. She had broke Destiny's nose.
Yeah, last year.
She had left me a huge bruise on my arm. Just trying to take the phone away.
Tammy and Destiny are now hoping to turn their devastating loss into a warning for other families.
And I don't think parents realize how the companies make it so that it's addictive. You know, I don't think that, because I know myself, I didn't realize it.
And also trying to hold the social media giants accountable. They claim Instagram and Snapchat do not have proper measures in place to protect children like Selena.
We're suing them for designing an algorithm that addicts children, first of all, and secondly, directs children to this dangerous content.
Instagram says a birthday is mandatory during sign-up, and users must be at least 13 years old for access.
I think one of the main problems is you can really go online and say you're anybody because there's no way of verifying
According to the legal complaint, Selena had been messaged and solicited for sexually exploitative content and acts on numerous occasions by adult male users of Instagram and Snapchat.
The internet and socials were not invented with young people in mind, yet a third of their users in the world are under 18. And so there's a lot of people advocating for child-centered design.
In a written statement to ABC News, Snap responded, "While we can't comment on the specifics of active litigation, nothing is more important to us than the well-being of our community. We work closely with many mental health organizations to provide in-app tools and resources for Snapchatters as part of our ongoing work to keep our community safe." A spokesperson for Meta told ABC News, "Our thoughts are with the families affected by these difficult issues. Given this is an ongoing legal matter, we're unable to comment further at this time." The worry about young Americans' mental health is a rare subject of bipartisan agreement in Congress.
Everything that you do is to add users, especially kids, and keep them on your apps for longer.
In October, lawmakers grilled executives from TikTok, Snapchat, and Alphabet's YouTube.
What will it take for platforms to finally crack down on the viral challenges, the illicit drugs, the eating disorder content, and the child sexual abuse material?
I don't think parents are going to stand by while our kids and our democracy become collateral damage to a profit game.
An advisory regarding the mental health of America's youth put out by the Surgeon General last year states, while technology platforms have improved our lives in important ways, when not deployed responsibly and safely, these tools can pit us against each other, reinforce negative behaviors like bullying and exclusion, and undermine the safe and supportive environments young people need and deserve.
We'll be able to show that it was an addictive product. We'll be able to show that sleep deprivation is highly correlated with suicide, particularly among adolescents. And finally, we just have the basic fact that teen suicide in Selena's age cohort increased 146% since 2007. What changed in the lives of teenagers since 2007 to attribute that increase? The only significant change had been the advent of social media.
And social media is a significant part of many young people's lives. One study found that 81% of 14 to 22-year-olds say they use social media either daily or almost constantly in 2020.
When somebody's addicted to gambling or shoplifting or using the internet or social networking sites in a way that's addictive, what's happening in the brain is that there is a huge release of a neurotransmitter called dopamine, and it goes to a part of the brain called the nucleus accumbens, which just lights up and is like, woohoo, like the feel good. So when you get likes on a page, that actually causes a release of dopamine. We're hooked, we want more.
But some experts say social media use can also be beneficial to some kids, but they stress that parents have to be aware and engaged.
I mean, with COVID, if we didn't have social media and we didn't have, these ways for adolescents to connect with their peers, it would be even worse, the devastating mental health effects than it is now. But at the same time, if you are a vulnerable teen and you are very insecure, you have high social anxiety, you are sensitive, it can also be really challenging, and it makes it all the more important for parents to get involved in their child's media lives.
As for Tammy and Destiny Rodriguez, they also have a message for kids who may be feeling pain and desperation, like their Selena.
If you're struggling, you can get through this, and you're more than a Facebook like or a comment or a like on Instagram. You are worth so much more. It's okay to reach out. It's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to admit that you have a problem with social media, and it's okay to get the help that you need, and just know that you're worth so much more than you believe you are.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
Here at the White House.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
Now streaming on ABC News Live 2020. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues, The Hunt. True crime 2020. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
The face of an alleged killer, a 28-year-old man arrested today in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, for the brutal murder of those 4 college students in Idaho, apprehended after 47 days of a community on edge. A SWAT team closing in some 2,500 miles from the crime scene and taking the suspect into custody and charging him with murder. Authorities tracking down the PhD student suspected in the Idaho stabbings to his parents' home in Pennsylvania. With the unsolved case gripping the nation for more than 6 weeks, how the community and the victims' families are responding tonight. After years of legal battles, a House committee has publicly released 6 years of former President Trump's tax returns, revealing surprising information about his business losses in recent years and just how little he paid in taxes while in office. We'll have the latest, including how the former president is responding. After more than a week of travel chaos, Southwest Airlines says it has resumed normal service tonight. With nearly 16,000 cancellations since the meltdown began last week, Southwest Airlines CEO exclusively telling ABC News the company promises to make good on passenger reimbursements for certain expenses. Alex Perez reports in tonight from Chicago. Police shortages are hitting departments large and small across the country. As communities grapple with rising crime, officers are walking away from the job, leaving departments scrambling to recruit and retain its ranks. What's behind the shortage, and can the new generation of officers be convinced to wear the badge?
Yes, it's a good job, it's an honorable job, but it's almost not worth it.
And as final preparations for the New Year's Eve ball drop are underway tonight, we take a look back at the stories that define 2022 here on ABC News Live. Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff in for Lindsay Davis tonight. Thanks so much for streaming with us. As 2022 comes to a close, we may be closing in on answers to that unsolved murder of 4 college students in Idaho, a brutal crime that left a small community, a college community, and the victims' families reeling. Today, authorities in Pennsylvania arresting a 28-year-old man in connection with the killings, Brian Koberger, who you see there taken into custody early Friday morning. He is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary.